Hey, ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Con Over coming to you with some more Company of Heroes 2. This is just another 1v1 down here in the south, playing the Thunderbolted Blue forces of the OKW. It is Lyconious. And to the fray, what is he bringing? He's bringing Elite Armor Doctrine, no surprise there. Breakthrough Doctrine, also no surprise there. And that's Scavenge Doctrine. So three very, very solid doctrines coming on in. And of course, it's going to open up with a Kobovagen and then Volksgrens. Super, super standard opening. And in the north, we've been seeing a little bit more and more of him in recent weeks. It is Cat. He is playing those Soviet troops. He's already built his support weapon Compania. And of course, what are we going to see? Well, it's a Maxim coming out after that Combat Engineer. But what's our little feline friend bringing to the fray? Well, it's Soviet industry tactics, which you don't see too often on a 1v1, but it's still pretty darn good. Counterattack tactics, and I'm going to go back to this one in just a second here, and mechanized support. So not seeing guard motor coordination, which is kind of nice, because I'm so sick and tired of seeing that. But what I do want to see, I want to see counterattack tactics, if for no other reason than to see that 203mm howitzer. Mostly because I don't think I've actually ever seen it proc, because usually anybody who goes for that is trying to lock down different parts of the map, and are generally not able to, especially in a 1v1. Lyconious is, though, in the meantime, putting some wire down to take away the good cover from the Soviets. He's going to hop into this house as well, trying to frustrate this early Maxim coming out. But the problem with this particular map, in terms of trying to take things away from your opponent, is that there's a lot of excellent garrisons around the center part of town. I mean, hey, it's Arnhem checkpoint. The Dutch aren't there for a reason, for no reason rather. But as the Sturmpires prove, STGs beat most of the Gants any day of the week and twice on Saturdays, which is actually when I'm recording this, so I don't know when this will go up, but hopefully it will be soon. In the meantime, folks, thank you so much for all the support you've been showing this channel. We're actually almost to 700 subscribers as I record this. And really, as this game kind of gets itself ready and raring to go, might as well throw in a little bit of shameless plug. Thank you guys so much for the support. We're getting like 1,000 views a day, 700 subscribers. Let's see if we can keep this going. I'm looking to kind of expand operations a little bit more in the coming year, but that's still another month or two off. So thanks again, guys. So hopefully we'll just continue to grow together as these months go by. Cat is being declawed early on in this game. A lot of his troops are getting forced back wherever he's going. This Maxim in the house here, however, will do pretty well against these Volksgrens, especially since there's been no new truck put out. There we go. Machine gun? Okay, no, they get inside just in time before they get suppressed. But since there's no new battle group headquarters or anything like that, he doesn't have to worry too much, he being Cat, doesn't have to worry too much about getting hit by incendiary grenades. What he does need to worry about, however, is he's losing an awful lot of territory. He doesn't have his fuel in supply, and indeed it doesn't look like it's going to be happening anytime soon either. These Volksgrens will take back the position from the combat engineers pretty easily. But of course, if this Maxim comes in, we might be able to switch that bad boy around. He's totally outflanked too, so these Volksgrens are kind of either have to be waiting out in the open or just get completely shot to pieces. My guess is they'll probably book it out of there pretty soon. And really there's no real concern, I would say, on the map for Lyconious. I mean, he's practically pushing back the Soviets to their own home territories. All that's really left is these expansion zones. There's not a whole lot. We are going to see an SWS coming in for Lyconious, and the question is right now, will it be a mech regiment or will that be a battle group headquarters? My guess would be mech regiment. Be a much better position, I would say, right now than anything else. And frankly, against Cat's Maxim spam, a Panzer II or even a half-track would be a better long-term option. I'm just trying to think about how Cat can get back into this. One is by teching up further, but that's not going to happen because he's been starved for fuel. But what can he be bringing in instead to the fray? Machine gun in the south and negative cover is going to get shot to pieces by these Volksgrens. You see it right now, every single shot taking away health, and doing it rather quickly too. But, what can he do? Mortar? Maybe a mortar could get this back into play? Because early call-ins are still not even open finally moving that machine gun into that house, but he's taking a ton of damage to get there. On the plus side, he's got 2 houses now in the middle part of the field, and Lyconious has not yet gone for a battle group headquarters, instead going for the mech regiment. So for a short bit, the lack of a Panzer II could give Cat a little more breathing room. And no, it's not going to be what I wanted. It's going to be mechanized support. Probably a good option, actually, in the long term as well, given that calling guards onto the field to be the kind of mobile attack would be a fairly decent option, I guess. We're going to see these Volksgrants push over here to the western side, and this machine gun's going to reset itself and chew them to pieces. Any second now. There we go. And say hello suppression. One guy's already going down to be suppressed. This other group's going to get pinned to pieces if they are not careful. And get suppressed just before they get in that house. Yeah, so now with these little strong points that are being set up by Cat, it could be decent. It could allow him to get back on the map a little bit better. And hopping in and hopping out of these houses to pick up territory could be pretty decent as well. But there is that dreaded Panzer II. But I guess Cat can totally preempt him with the guards another minute or so. The PTRS will be more than enough to deflect the early light vehicle. Interestingly, Cat is taking back a good portion of this map. A lot of the German infantry is being shot to pieces. The Volksgrants pushing it over here to the eastern side, and the Kubelwagen and another squad of Sturmpyos are just limping back to home base. I have to admit, that's a little shocking. I think maybe because Lyconious went for a much lighter. How do I put this? Much lighter infantry build on the earlier tiers. That this is definitely happening. But that really isn't. I kind of feel like that could have been handled a little bit better by Lyconious. The Guards infantry, though, is coming out. You see those guys coming out right now with the PTRSs. Are they getting DP light machine guns? No, not yet. There's not enough munitions in the old bank there. Maxim, in the meantime, is getting circle strafed by a Panzer II. It's not like he's going to do a whole lot. And those rifles rounds aren't going to do much in return, so we're going to have ourselves a little bit of a stalemate. Maybe a couple models dropped from the Soviet lines. But just you wait. Oh, that's the combat engineers. I thought it was the guards coming in right about now. But no, here they come now. Okay, so 1 or 2 rounds to see that Panzer II beat a hasty retreat. I'm expecting it. I'm expecting it. In position now, first round. There we go. Yep. So, apparently the Panzer II has not had enough. He's going to continue to kind of... Whoa. That was weird. Continue to really be dancing back and forth. It was a TM-35 mine complete, but it's not where I thought it was. No, it's right there, okay. The Guards, in the meantime, really turning this into a strong point, putting some more pressure on this Panzer II, and if I were that light tank, I would not be hopping around outside. Nor would I be hopping around outside if I were these Kubelwagen right here. Nein, I would not. It's going to be a scavenge doctrine, though, for Lyconious. He's calling those Panzer Fusiliers? Jaeger Lights, excuse me. Jaeger Lights, and that could be rather good in the long term. In the immediate term, though, they're going to be best just kind of holding down a couple of these territories until the Soviets get successfully pushed back. But I've been neglecting the middle part of the field over here. The Sturmpires are going to move in, trying to take back the center VP, and I'm surprised that these 2 machine guns are not suppressing them almost immediately. And that's why. Machine gun will go down on the west, and I think that might be first blood for the Germans. Yep, that house is completely decrewed now. And there we go. 458 to 380 in the meantime. This is really starting to kick off. Sturmpyos are pinned. Volksgrans are trying to move in over here. We'll toss down. Oh my gosh, assault grenades. This could devastate the squad. Oh, nobody gets out just before. Last bit. But geez, another machine gun's gone down. This house right here is no longer firing. Well, I tell you what is firing. Those guards. And that tank does not want to be there, let me tell you. Where's that other guard squad? Is it a little bit further to the north just yet? Okay. So we're going to seesaw it back the other direction a bit, it seems, as well. This Panzer II doing a little bit more than I gave it credit for. And with being assisted by the Jaeger Lights, yeah, shockingly enough, the Germans are not quite out of this yet. couple of the scavenger grenades as well. I suppose it's probably more than enough to chase back this heavily static support weapon play that we are seeing from Cat. But there goes one. There goes the Kubelwagen, I do believe. Yep, going off the TM-35 mine. And I caught that just in time. I love seeing all the explosions. It's always so good to see that happen. As a player, you can put down a mine, and it's such a static, kind of iffy thing. So you're concerned about it. You know, am I putting it in the right spot? Am I not putting it in the right spot? I'm not sure that's the greatest place to go anymore. Mostly because one more scavenger grenade will completely destroy that house. Luckily for him, though, the grenade assault is not quite ready. Western side combat engineers are going to get savaged by this Panzer II, and how the heck is Cat not able to pick up a T-70 just yet? Well, I guess I'll tell you. This infantry is taking a real pounding. And I guess we're going to see a belated battle group headquarters. Probably a good option at this point. Shrimp powers have gone down, and looking at the earlier builds for both sides, really been taking some devastating losses. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so 3 Volksgrens, 2 Jaegers, and now finally, after long last, another Sturmpile coming back in. And still, those support weapons being utilized by Cat aggressively. I'm actually kind of surprised he's able to do so. Capturing territory, I guess Arnhem Checkpoint still does have a fair amount of choke points. I mean, who can go figure? Oh no, DP light machine guns are up. Yeah, those Volksguns are gonna get carved to pieces. They're dropping 3 models in about 3 seconds. One more model going down. Oh my gosh, scavenger! Oh, but it's a potato masher assault. Yay! Death is happening fast and furious over here, everyone. The West is truly not all quiet. Strangely enough, the eastern side is not taking a whole lot of action. We see instead a kind of weird standoff between the combat engineers and one Jaeger squad. The eastern side, though, hasn't seen a lot of action. These vines are still growing, and I'm really kind of surprised because Danish wine is really not that good. At long last, though, here comes a T-70. Yep, there we go. T-70 on the field. The balance of power can shift back for Lyconious, at least until Raketten comes out. Oh, excuse me, for Cat, rather. At least until Raketten comes out for Lyconious. The Jaegers are shifted over to the eastern house, and we have this awkward standoff, red versus blue. Soviets versus Fascista. And this Panzer II is going to get screwed sideways the second the T-70 comes forward. Machine gun goes right back in that house. He believes that for some reason he can succeed where all others have failed. Not sure why necessarily. But hey, he's going to be optimistic. He can be optimistic. Sturmpire is being called in, have been called in for some soft AT. And shockingly enough, that T-70 didn't do as much damage as I hoped it would. There we go. Finally, pinging off some paint on the P2. Sturmpires go right back down though, good gosh. Oh no, they charged in and ran right into the guards. How goofy is that? Apparently it's not safe anymore. There's no sanctuary for them. And all that's left now for this T-70 to really worry about is Panzerfausts, which, trust me, exists. But won't be too hard to get away from. You know, it's kind of interesting to watch certain players as they go through their various builds. Cat, for example, tends to linger with the Tank Heavy Battalion Command, building 1 or sometimes more like 2 or 3 T-70s. A little bit surprising, mostly because, oh geez, Panzerfaust, any second now. That's not that great. Usually you can see a single T-70 at the absolute most. Are the Faust coming out? No. No, instead it's going to be the assault grenades. That machine gun's going to get hammered. That house is not going to take too much. But they're pinned. Ooh, they're pinned instead. Luckily for them. Another Jaeger Lightsman spawned in this house to the north. And should there be any sort of grenades being thrown in, not that they have a whole lot. Oh no, it's going to be a demolition charge. He doesn't even know it's there either. Can he get it done? I don't know. Super, super close. No, instead he drops a combat engineer squad trying to be cheeky. Doesn't seem to bother him overly much, though. Jägerlights will come out and do a real number on this Maxim. But all he's really looking to do is just cap out that center position and probably back it away. It might be a good plan now. House to the west has been finally taken down.
We have lost a machine gun crew.
And Cat's taking some real losses here. Oof. Even more devastating is the fact that now there's an Ostwind on the field, and there's not going to be enough AV, I think, to really deflect him any more than kind of exists. T-70 in the meantime is going to take out this garrison, remove that spawn point for the Jaegers, but also remove it as a firing point for his own troops. But what is the state of the game right now? Right now, the Germans do not seem to be deterred at all. And these guards do not want to be in the center part of the field, I can tell you that much. Ooh, my gosh, could this be a... no, I could have been wrong completely. This Ostwind is going to get taken out by T-70s and the guards. This is a shocking, shocking reversal. I did not expect this to be happening here. Pinging, 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 and finally just being nibbled to death by the Mosquitoes of Doom. Which might be an awesome name for a band, Mosquitoes of Doom. I would totally listen to that band. Hands down. Don't care who they are, what songs they sing, or even that style. I'd be totally down for that. Both T-70s are up, though, and with those guys being up, they could be a roving death squad. Kind of want to see that. Taking out garrisons like crazy could be possible. The Germans are going to push around to the western side, excuse me, to the east of the church, trying to push forwards. Maybe picking up that Maxim? Interesting decision. Very interesting decision. Question is, can they pay? Will they be paying for their temerity? Oh, looks like the T-70 is going to chase back. Oh, man, he could have picked off a couple of squads here. Instead, another Ostwind's going to come in, and nope, never mind, that scavenged Maxim is going to be right back in the middle of town. Triple T-70. Curious. Super curious. So Cat decides to be a little more aggressive than maybe I would have been. Oh, no, Su-76. Okay, that's a better option right there. So 2 T-70s and Su-76. I guess Cat is going to use those as a kind of waiting force until he gets the ISU in the later part of the game. And frankly, Lyconious should have been teching up instead of depending on the Ostwind. I mean, we all know that I have like a cyber boner for an Ostwind used properly. But oh no, he's going to go right over top of this. Oh no, okay, that could have really damaged him horribly. Instead, it seems like it's going to be infantry blown up to pieces, and that's another one right there, folks. And finally, the eastern side of the map will get some action. Ostwinds will crush those combat engineers if they don't move out of there soon, but the combat engineers prove themselves rather game, not giving ground in the face of so much rampant destruction, or potential death and destruction. Surprisingly, that P2, where is that P2? He's way down here to the south, not being used at all, mostly because there's no upgrades, which at this point should have been done a long time ago. Or there's no Sturmpiles, which is almost just as egregious an error. And now it looks like the Germans will pay for it. Su-76 is shifting forwards. He can totally beat on that on the Ostwind and will do so. Guards in the meantime are going to get hammered quite a bit, and now there's a triple Maxim back out on the map. Shockingly, there's going to be a round thrown into the Su-76, which I don't think is the greatest opportunity. I think it'd be much better to throw it into the T-70s. But I suppose, in trying to keep that Ostwind up, Lyconious is willing to kind of do anything he can. The question is, will these T-70s again be going in and out to kind of do some slashing attacks? I think that'd be really kind of cool. And hey, that one machine gun has finally been picked back up again. Not the cost of a guard squad, but hey, that counts, I suppose. Middle part of the field, though, machine gun will be locking down these Germans who now can't get inside, unfortunately, ooh, that was a brutal hit right there. Can't get into it because of the wire they laid down in the earliest part of the game, so it's always a trial. You have to remember that sometimes what you do can and will be used against you in the court of Company of Heroes 2. Is this a BTRS? Yes, it is. So yes, a tank, a guard squad died to pick up that machine gun, I imagine. The T-70s in the meantime, oh no, Su-76 even more so, slashing in behind, trying to pick up the Ostwind, and might be able to. This T-70 is going to get hammered by a Faust pretty soon. But no, instead it looks like he will make everybody pay. At least a little bit. Yep, never mind. This guy's going to get hammered. I would be very surprised if he makes it away. There he goes. T-70 might buy it, though. There goes one. He's down. And this Raketenwerfer will make other stuff pay. I'm actually going to go down right now. One more round. Yep, there he goes. So, strange things keep happening. Strange things keep happening. And now there's going to be a barrage being called in. The question is where? 105s. Where is it? Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. It's always a little bit hard to watch whenever you see a garrison get blown to pieces. But throwing that down, I think right now Cat is still in, oddly enough, decent shape. Not spectacular, mind you, but decent. That howitzer barrage is still, excuse me, the light artillery barrage. Forgive me. There's still a real option here. And kind of wanting this combat engineer should just pick up this PTRS. Might be a good option right about now. Guys, the fact that the gate doesn't just automatically open is a little bit sad. Pick it up. Pick it up. Do it. Do it. No, they're not going to get it. Instead, I think it might even go over to the Volksgrens. And that would just be embarrassing as all get out. Light arty barrage comes in from the Su-76. Doesn't do a whole lot, though. But at least Cat has clawed his way back to a fairly even footing in terms of map presence. Even more so is the fact that he's got machine guns to kind of lock down both sides, and we're going to see one of those come into play decently soon. Cat, in the meantime, is being cheeky, throwing down some mines over here, kind of a poor man's minefield. It could do decently well against it. What will not be doing decently well is this machine gun against this Ostwind, who's just going to start blowing holes in the foundation. Doing that rather quickly, too. But you don't want to be a German vehicle on the eastern side of the map. That's exactly what's going to happen. He's trying to lure this Panzer II back around, but it's not going to be happening. He's not going to do it. Western side Su-76 will try to pick on this Ostwind, but won't get line of sight, unfortunately, leaving that Panzer II to really run rampant on the eastern side of the map. Might even see the death of another Maxim? No, we're not. So we're going to see two more T-70s. Not sure I agree with that one. At this point in time, I think it would have been better just to start making guards or something like that. But, you know, to each their own, I suppose. The guards can rush forwards to pick up this Maxim yet again. And what I had thought to be a good position for the Soviets is now swinging right back towards the Germans. Very, very strange. It's like these guys made a pact to not go to the super late game. And I can't say that I agree with it. Panzer II manages to miss both the mines that are over here. See one right here, the other one right over there. In the center part of the field, these guards are now trying to push back against the P2. That's not going to go very well either. Grenade maybe? Yep, grenade comes in on the house. We'll do a little bit, excuse me, the church. We'll do some health damage, but won't actually pick off the enemy properly. T-70, though, is going to make it away. This is the third one of the map. And make it in here just in time to save the Soviets. Soviet guards, rather. And might not want to push too much further. But okay. Now we're going to have the P2, which is going to just butcher the T-70 by itself. And the Ostwind to really be adding up extra parts of damage. And I don't know. I don't really like Cat's decisions in this later game. I do like his territory decisions. I mean, obviously, taking both fuel points will be great if he can ever get his way to the ISU, but he could have gone halfway to the ISU by not taking the rinky-dink T-70s and instead depending on guards or mines to really push back or deflect these tanks. We're having ourselves like a bit of like a, I don't even know what to call it. It won't be nice. Kind of an idiot engagement where this Raketenwerfer was like, "Oh look, there's an enemy to our side. Maybe we should stay here and take more attacks." And now a late game Puma coming out for Lyconious could be enough to really be, actually it will be enough to really take care of these T-70s. The Su-76, given enough support, could survive long enough, but I would not be too enthusiastic about their chances. Heck, by itself, these two guys are more than enough to really be taking on the T-70s, especially unupgraded individuals and non-vet. But I guess if the infantry gets taken out, which is going to happen here, T-70s rushing in to just kind of go and whooping whatever they touch. The guards will be nice little meat shields for the time being. They'll do just enough damage to push guys back. We see here some very, very awkward engagements happening here. The Panther II and the Ostwind won't do much against the Su-76 from the front forwards, but with the help of the Raketenwerfer, well, that'll be a big hit right there. No pun intended. And shockingly, could be suppressed. Ooh, suppressed. Now, there's an interesting thing. Even the T-70's time to get away. It takes one hit, but really not that too bad. And now completely pinned, too, so that anti-tank threat has been completely and totally suppressed and taken off the field. Not that that makes the T-70s feel that much better. Machine gun, in the meantime, trying to just stave off every little bit that they can. Units getting sniped left and right, and all they really need to do is just make sure they don't lose the center VP as a cap. I suppose using things like the guards, everyone in negative cover, it's not going to be easy, but they could survive it pretty well. Puma's going to rush forwards, and the Su-76 should have line of sight on him. Ooh, misses the first shot, though. That could be really, really bad. But yeah, getting hit by that 75 mil cannon could prove quite devastating in the long term. But at this point, it seems the Russians are just playing for time. They have the army size advantage. It's not going to be by much, but with another Su-76 on the field, more than enough to deflect or take back any kind of light vehicle shenanigans that will be going on. Infantry as well, while it barely matches up to the German forces, not in terms of veterancy, but otherwise, they would be able, I think, to kind of spread the field enough that the Germans couldn't really be pushing them back too aggressively. We will see one of those positions go back into German hand, and indeed, it's going to be some mines coming over here to the eastern side. And unfortunately, the 50 munitions investment by CAT has been now removed by some very, very excellent hazard removal kits. Also, let's not forget the wonderful little booby traps. Oops, where is it? There we go. Booby trap that has now been put down by the Germans in the middle VP, leaving quite a rude surprise. And I kind of want to see what happens. Who's going to go in there first? Okay, it's the one-star squad of the guards, but it's nice and wide, so not going to take too many losses. That'd be a positive thing right there. Negative cover, though, they're really going to get torn to shreds, but with the help of that Maxim, might be just enough for them to be okay. Out of the T-70s now rushing in, along with the Su-76s, and it seems like the German vehicles are getting outflanked. Let's just kick this off here for just a second. One T-70 is going to go down here, I almost guarantee it. Ostwind, in the meantime, taking hammered. I don't know who's going to go down first, though. P2 goes down. T-70 goes down. The other T-70 goes down. Su-76 is... Oh, no. I was wrong. No, wow. Death and destruction galore. And all that's left is just a Puma and two Su-76s, and that's not what you want to be if you are a Puma. Cat proven that he's not without his own little bag of tricks. And these kind of pioneers rushing forward, trying to do their own thing. I don't think that's going to be enough. The Puma continues to rush away as quickly as possible, but one shot's all it's going to be. Oh no, I was going to say, how did he survive that? But no, he's down, and I do think with that happening, the Russians have taken a very, very significant lead back on this map. Especially as the Su-76s quickly put the knife into the back of this other Ostwind. If this Ostwind goes down, that's all that exists for, not AT threats, and because you can see right here, this Raketenwerfer will get at least one shot off on top of these Su-76s as they kind of prance on by. I was incorrect, never mind. There we go. One more shot. And look at the headsman, they take out the last Ostwind. That will teach you. I'm not sure what that exactly will teach him. But Cat apparently being a little bit more snippy, then maybe he should be otherwise.
Su-76 ready for...
Third Su-76 being called onto the field, and I don't think the Germans have a whole lot that can be called in to defend against this, considering... Oh geez, guys, don't descend into Saltville. Considering that now these light arty barrages will give him... Jeez. Will finally be really giving the indirect fire support the Germans can't match. Oy vey. I hope these guys are good friends in real life, because this is a little bit too much to listen to sometimes. Oy vey. Yeah, forget it. Alright, cool. Well, in the meantime, we see a lovely little motor pool of Su-76s in the middle part of the field. There's the Mama Bear.
combat engineers.
There's the Papa Bear. There's the Baby Bear with no stars of veterancy. And the Germans don't really have anything that can be done. They block them from behind techs. Oh, interesting idea, actually. I never thought about that. Something to think about, I suppose. Not being able to call in material to, take up to a particular level. Oh well. It's going to be a trip cap for the Soviets, and I don't think the Germans can do a whole lot. I kind of wonder if it will be a light arty barrage, just kind of take out some of these buildings, a little bit of an FU to the people of the Netherlands. But no, instead it looks like it's going to be the Germans just kind of doing that last little bit of an effort to really push forwards. I just want to see a light arty barrage. Here we go. Boop, 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 boop.
The sector is at risk.
That's actually kind of adorable. You don't see that very often. But guys, thanks so much for tuning into this particular game. There's Lyconious. He's tapping out right about now. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have enjoyed this as much as I have. It definitely seesawed back and forth quite a bit. And I do apologize if I'm talking a little bit quickly as well. I had a little bit of caffeine today. And I'll try to keep it a little more on top of that in the future. But thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I will see you all soon. If you have a game you want me to check out or you just want to play with me, email me at conovergaming@gmail.com or hit me up on Steam, exactly the same name. I'll see you guys all soon. Take it easy. Have a great day.